So hop into this one with no delay.
Makes for a nice fluent stream when you get that game back to back.
Yeah, it's nice when I look back at the VOD later and 30 minutes of the VOD isn't just break.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
we don't really know much about these guys, though,
No,
eh?
not too much. I think I heard from the Overwatch coach that looks like 1 Masters, couple diamonds, some platinums.
All right.
So it's like your average TESPA team.
I wonder if this is a club or an actual varsity
me
squad.
too. There's a lot of varsity teams actually popping up over
is
the
nice to
last
see.
year. It is super nice to see. I'd like to see a little more Canadian teams, but hey, we take what we take. We take what we can get, sorry.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Bit by bit. Inch by inch. So Saints looked really good at... Oh, this is... What's going on?
Okay,
here?
there we go.
Okay. I was going to say...
This isn't goats. Why is break here?
Yeah. It's Kingdom Heart likes to... So our Doomfist heard the Doomfist there, and he almost caught him with a punch.
Got
And
him.
An early pick. Jub with that awareness there, listening for that charge up. Goes into the backline, gets one punch onto the Moira, gets her down to 1 HP.
He's finding all the targets that he needs to.
Yeah.
The DPS, the healers are all going down.
He's just putting so much pressure on that backline. It allowed the tanks there from Saints to get in there and just do so much damage and take so much space that there's not a lot they could do. That point's unlocked and nobody's capping it. There's one person
someone's back finally.
They woke up. They turned their monitors back on.
That's good. That's always a necessary evil.
Absolutely. So they're holding close here. They have all 6, so this is looking really good for Saints. They got a lot of early ult charge there off of that fight. There wasn't a lot, and a big punch coming in from Jub.
Yeah, Saints just really prioritized getting this aggressive hold on this door.
Yeah. So with the double shield meta,
that.
what's a good advantage for you to have is to be going aggressive early and then using that poke damage from your tanks to kite backwards.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now they are taking a little bit. They're trying to go a little bit too aggressive, and they took too much damage on their shields. So now they're forced to fall back.
We're gonna have a lot of ults on deck here in a second.
Well, we just wiped 2 fights, so we have huge ult advantage right now.
Yeah, Wallow kind of got pops right after Wraith Walk, but it doesn't matter. He's going in.
Big 2 picks. Oh, has to reload. All right, cool.
The rest of the squad followed up, though. Wallow may not have been able to get all the kills, but everybody else is right there to clean things up.
University of Pittsburgh, they're just having a real hard time getting through this choke right now. So, coming online right now, we have 4 ults from the Saints.
Okay, Jub kind of getting a bunch of damage on him. He could not get through the door. Wallow's going to look for it. He's got a good spot for it, but the Sigma is right there to shut that down.
Big beat coming out to keep Wallow alive.
Okay,
big Sigma catching 2, forcing the beat out from University of Pittsburgh.
That one didn't actually hit at all there from the side of Pittsburgh, so it's a little rough.
Yeah, that's super good for the Saints there. That ultimate right there would have just destroyed all hopes, especially since we used beat earlier to save our Reaper.
This fight is getting scrappier and scrappier. Everyone's a little spread out, a little bit strapped for resources.
I don't even know what's going on anymore. I'm a little bit lost. Big shift coming in. Oh, but a punch to get that shift out. But I mean, there's a 95% cap from Saints here. They're going to get actually up to 97 by the time University of Pittsburgh comes back. So what Saints can do here, since they have such a big bank of time, and it's a big pick coming up from Walla, is now it's a one team fight game. They could just stack ults, and if they win that, then it's game over.
Very true, and now more than ever, while you have the 6v5 is a good opportunity to get in there after that Reaper went down.
Absolutely. Doomfist going into the backline and using that ult to get out, like I had said earlier, but he might go aggressive here. They really need a pick.
Kingdom Heart actually finds the first kill in this fight, and alongside Jub, and so many members of Pittsburgh just got smoked by everybody, and Jub's right in their face.
And that's that 1 fight advantage. Now there's nothing they can do to touch.
And Wallow just going to fire the Death Blossom right in their spawn, essentially, just to shut them down even further.
That was a really good first point coming up from Saints there. Absolutely. They did a really good job of holding that choke. They got a little bit overwhelmed because they went too aggressive and it forced them to fall back, causing a fight to be lost. But I mean, getting 97% off of that first cap, you're in a great position to take that point.
And a little bit of a weight off your shoulders knowing that it is just one fight in the towers, basically.
Absolutely. So even if you have a struggle, like say they didn't get that pick, right, and they go in and try and win a fight, and it doesn't go the way they planned, you got so much ult charge off that. If they dry run, they have probably ult advantage at that point, and then you can just stack ults up because you have a whole minute and a half to do so, and then you You just come back and win. There's a Diva and a Brig pick that saw at one point.
No, but we actually
Mercy,
have
Anna.
Pharmacy combo as well here. Yeah, a
This
little
is
bit
new.
different.
This is new. I have not seen this before.
And Pittsburgh teleporting up to the top and going to get themselves onto the point.
So the one downfall of doing that strategy where you TP to point like that is actually Symmetra, as much as it is a tight point and she's somewhat good with her ultimate, she doesn't get as much value as somebody like a Reaper or a Doomfist gets. So when you take that TP there, it's a struggle.
Now, so far...
Big pick coming out from Willa.
So, yeah, Walla finding the one pick, but 2 of Sinclair did go down before they even had their opportunity to get towards that point. So University of Pittsburgh going to get this first cap.
Even on a lost fight here, Willa getting that barrage, they're not going to be expecting much coming out from the Saints here due to that fight being a lost fight for them.
That charged so fast.
Yeah, he got that barrage really quick and gets an early pick on the...
Oh, and he steals angle on these guys too, so it at least adds on a little bit of extra damage. That's going to be 3 down, maybe?
Almost. She's 1 HP. Jub might be able to clean that up.
Okay.
And he falls off the map.
Jub takes care of himself, apparently, but it's still a good-looking fight right now for St. Clair. Damage going down, though. This is getting more and more even. Crypt's going to finish off Dusty, at least,
I don't
while
even know
going down. Okay.
The big Waro coming out from University of Pittsburgh, though.
Yeah, it's huge scrappy. That's going to get 3. Everybody's caught up in that. Slam them down, 1 down.
That is winnable.
The Reese is extremely low, and it looks like...
Moira has to be low in resources.
Absolutely. Jussie just barely keeping Damage alive.
And there's that anti-nade we were talking about earlier.
So a little bit of an unorthodox comp here for St. Clair, but at least now they have the advantage. They can set up where they want to.
Yeah, this is probably one of my least. This is definitely my least favorite point on Lijiang Tower. The defending team has so much of an advantage because there's such tight chokeholds. In this current meta too, those tight chokeholds just make it so much easier for the defending team to set up a play.
And Jump got popped instantly again. And then Walla did switch off the Pharah now, so he's back to Reaper, but he gets stunned up by a McCree. So he's going to get shut down real quick.
That was just unfortunate timing.
Pittsburgh just plows, blitzes this point. And there's this one's going to get turned over very likely here for the University of Pittsburgh.
Jub just going for that one pick, got some stall in, and he's going to get out with his ultimate like I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Good play there from Jub.
Yeah,
got a good pick. Now they have a 6v5 coming into this fight. Hopefully they can take advantage of that.
And now that you pointed that out, that the ult is like an escape tool, like it's supposed to be used as an escape tool in this meta. I'm noticing it more and more often. But now, both teams blitzing. Jub once again, first one down in this fight. The Flux gets at least 2.
Yeah. And the Saints didn't have beat there because they haven't been playing Lucio this whole time. So that Flux is just an easy win for University of Pittsburgh. And
now, this is looking a little rough. We're borderline 90% right now for University of Pittsburgh, and St. Clair has to touch somehow, but they've pretty much got most of the angles covered at this point.
That unorthodox comp did not look to be what Saints needed.
Oh, they're going to try and get there, and they do actually manage to get Kingdom Heart onto the point. This Metro ult is going to come out.
If he can live here, this is big.
He's not even getting pressured, it looks like.
No. He needs to be with the team, though. Big Flux coming in from... Oh, Big Flux.
Does go down for it, but does get one in return, but it is looking like it's going to be heavily in favor of
Coalescence
Pittsburgh.
coming out from... Yeah, and gets punched out of Coalescence. This is just unfortunate here for the Saints.
Yeah, things definitely not going in their favor, but granted, they're not down just yet. Jub going to try and get himself another pick. Meteor Strike goes down right afterwards, though. Although reinforcements are here,
and they don't have that. They don't have that Sigma shift. This is just like what happened to us last map.
All right, 2 going down. This is winnable. It looks like Sigma going down. Jussie gets a kill as well on Wolfpack, and they're going to clean this up.
That Jub stalled just long enough for the Saints to be able to get that regroup back in and get that Reaper ult off. That's exactly what they needed.
Now clutching it out to try and keep this game or they keep the 2-0 dream alive in game number 1.
Metas are metas for a reason, right? They switch back to the meta comp and things seem to go a little bit better. Unfortunately, we are stuck on that ball due to trying to recontest with it, but hopefully we can do something with it.
Yeah, definitely needed it for the recontest, but Dusty's getting so much pressure.
Yeah, Doomfist uses all of his ability to get in, and they got back cap.
Sneaky backdoor cap here from Pittsburgh might cost Saints dearly unless they can win this fight. I think that is the Sigma on the side of Pittsburgh with the ults coming out, but
Walla's getting a bunch of big picks here.
He's going to try and teleport out of there. That was risky as heck, but he doesn't manage to pull it off.
He needs to be able to get back to point, though.
Yeah, but the overtime ticker is going down. Yeah. Nobody home. This is going to be Pittsburgh taking the second part of game number 1.
I think that comp that they played coming out there on that point, that first comp, I think that was the detriment there. They lost the first 54% that University of Pittsburgh took was due to that comp being played, and that's a lot of time when it comes to 99%.
Now, what exactly about the comps? I know meta's meta for a reason, but why wouldn't a Pharah in this case?
So
Ana
it's not necessarily the Ana is the only thing I don't agree with.
Okay.
So Ana in this meta right now, she has a really hard time with shields, right? That's always something she struggled with.
Right.
So on a map like that, especially, there's not a lot of high grounds for an Ana to take advantage of, in order to get value out of her abilities as well as her like her healing and stuff.
Right.
So like say for example like a Numbani, when you have a lot of high grounds and you can position on high ground, you can lob that nade over shields and get value off of it.
That's actually a pretty good start here for St. Clair on this third point. They're going to be able to hold this center area after getting the kill onto Dusty.
Yeah, they get the point first and they catch out that Doomfist who was out of position looking for a pick. That's exactly what the Saints need right now.
Okay, Pittsburgh are going to look to try and contest slowly but surely, but the point is going to get flipped over to St. Clair. Oh, Dusty just got popped, unfortunately, by Dusty.
Kingdom Heart looking for a boop there, and he actually gets the boop onto Sigma.
All right.
That is a great pick to get after your Moira just went down. Looking for another one, but playing a little bit aggressive. You might get picked off here.
Damage is so low, but slowly but surely getting the health back, of course.
And Jub off camera, he just 1v1'd the enemy Doomfist.
Let's go. Okay, Damage almost getting a little anxious, but does manage to get the kill onto the opposing Orisa.
That just shows the faith that our tanks have in each other. That he knew that that Sigma shield would be there to keep him alive. And,
are Doomfists normally supposed to go diving after a Pharah?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't want to talk about that.
Unfortunately, it just seems like once St. Clair wins a team fight, Jub loves to get aggressive, and that's a huge barrage from Harshmondo. Taking down 2 right away, and that's going to be the Sigma taking down another.
Looks like Kingdom Heart here is just going to be going for that stall, and he gets insta-killed by a damage-boosted Pharah.
Oh yeah, that rocket kind of hurts. And there we go. Moira going to clean things up. So this is going to get flipped over.
So there's 2 ways here that you can deal with this Pharah, and one is switching to that Widowmaker to try and get those picks. The only downfall is that if she's not hitting headshots, you actually have to hit 3 shots from Widow to kill a Pharah with a Mercy on her.
Okay.
Your other option is the same as always. Whenever you're getting beat by a comp, you have no idea what to do. Is just mirror it and play it better.
Okay, jumped up with the flank. He's going to look for the Mercy, but not going to find him. Just looking for the shot. And in the meantime as well, so many members of St. Clair have just gone down. Unfortunately, none of these shots finding their mark here for Jub.
I mean, yeah, Jub missing all those shots basically turns that fight into a 6v5, and Saints is already at a disadvantage there. It's unfortunate. Hopefully, coming up in this fight, he can find that crosshair placement onto their heads and maybe get a couple headshots.
And the switch off of the Widowmaker to the Tracer instead, and then we have Walla with his Death Blossom right around the corner.
Yeah, that Death Blossom could be big here if they can bait out that Sigma shift.
Got a little bit of a jump onto the Pharah. He's going to just pop this thing right away, and he's going to find 2.
Yeah, those 2 picks are big too. The Moira goes down, and Walla's just going on a tear right now, getting 4 kills in that fight, forcing University of Pittsburgh to regroup.
Here I am thinking he popped it kind of early, but he managed to still get the 2, and that definitely swayed the fight in St. Clair's favor.
One thing about Overwatch that people I don't think realize is that you don't need to get maximum value out of every single ultimate you use.
Oh, yeah.
You can get 1 pick or force 1 pick from using your ultimate onto a person on the enemy team, that can be fight winning.
I remember you were describing Sigma's ult to me when he first came out. And it's like, yeah, you could pick up the entire team, but you just need one.
Yeah, the one pick sometimes is better than waiting to try and get that amazing ult off.
I mean, we all want play of the game, but sometimes you still got to go through it. Kingdom Heart gets the boop, but
big bongo kill coming out from Tracer there.
And that was still pretty early. And let's see if Jump Jump could find a good stick. He does find the Sigma.
Almost goes down to his own bomb.
I was very surprised he didn't get picked off by that, but he is going to eventually get taken down by the Moira. But the revenge kills are coming out back and forth, but a revive also coming out onto the Sigma for University of Pittsburgh. Overtime clock ticking down, but somebody's on the point. The Orisa is here, trying to hold it as much as possible. Back and forth. Dusty's here with the Tracer of his own to try and do it. Dusty's going to just laser him down, and that's it.
Yeah, and that right there is the life of a main tank. When you see a Reaper walking towards you and you're all by yourself, that's all she wrote. There is not anything you can do at that point.
F's in chat. Feels bad, man. It's a rough life.
So what do you think? What map do you think is going to come out here?
I mean, history
I was gonna
says
say,
that it should be King's Row.
Yeah, if I'm a betting man, I'm going on King's Row. But
seems to be the way she goes this season, but we shall see.
I would like to see a Junkertown. I haven't seen Junkertown in a while.
Funny enough, if it wasn't King's Row, then it's usually...
Oh, but it's hybrid. I don't even know what the hybrid maps are right now. I think if King's Row... Man, I really...
I think I should follow up with the map rotation.
I need to do my research here. Let's pull out the handy-dandy cell phone and figure this out. But like, look, we were right. King's Row coming out as the second map.
Yeah, just everybody seems to like it.
Yeah, like I said, it's just a great neutral map. Super fun to play.
Anubis is still in the map rotation, right?
2CP actually is not in the maps right now. It is there is 2CP in the map pool, but as I'm bringing it up right now so I can show you actually as I'm talking about it. So this is how it works. So it's Oasis Hybrid Escort is what's happening. So basically, or like this week is Lijiang Hybrid Escort. So what happens is you play Lijiang Tower first. Excuse me, and then the losing team picks a hybrid, and if it goes to game 3, the team who lost game 2 picks an escort map. Okay. Which the hybrid maps that we can pick from are Kings Row, Numbani, and Hollywood.
Right, and so then 2CP is just not even
absolutely
a thing, so that makes sense.
And then your escort maps that can be picked from are Dorado, Route 66, and Junkertown. So if this goes to a third map, maybe I'll get my wish and we can see some Junkertown.
Maybe. Okay. So these guys are taking probably just 2 to 3 minutes now.
I mean, now that I'm aware of the map pool 100%, Kings Row, Numbani, Hollywood, I see why a lot of people are going with that Kings Row strategy. Kings Row compared to the other two it's just more straightforward. Numbani, you can kind of get away with dive tanks. I hear a lot of
complaints of Numbani.
Yeah, Numbani, you can kind of get away with dive. Just because of all the high grounds, you can take advantage of it.
Right.
If you can break that bastion and force them off the high ground, the dive team actually has the advantage on that point. And then Hollywood as well. Hollywood is basically just bastion to be bastion. And a lot of times what you're going to see when teams don't play Hollywood is that they struggle on that bastion to be bastion matchup. So since you struggle on that bastion to be bastion matchup, I mean, Dan, you don't need to see Danners, right? No. Danners can hide off frame.
I'll just kind of peek in here for a second. There we go.
When you struggle in that Bastion v Bastion matchup, is you definitely don't want to go to that map because that high ground, that cafe there, is just it's too good for a Bastion comp. Like it's literally just set up perfectly. Where Orisa shield covers everything. Pharah can hardly get a poke through.
Right.
Sigma can just sit up there with the Orisa where he's not getting poked because of the Orisa shield from a Pharah if they're playing it, and just Sigma shield up the Pharah, and now you cut out the Mercy and the Pharah. Yeah. So even something that's supposed to be good and break that comp, you're now nullifying any capabilities of doing so. So if a team is not confident on the Bastion, you'll never see them go to Hollywood. And I think that's why you see a lot of Kings Row.
Probably, and it looks like we're about to get right into it. Game number 2. Of course. Kings Row, who's starting off here on attack, I wonder? I'm just overhearing the coach in the background. Everybody's picking off meta stuff, as you can kind of see right now.
I think Justin really wants to play that Ana. It is the one downfall of Wait, hit tab? Is just okay, no, Lillian's on Lucio, okay. The one downfall of Overwatch, the game that I love so dearly, is the meta seems to just stick around for a really long time. So when you're really grinding and practicing like these players have to, it gets boring. It really does. So I understand wanting to mix it up, but the comp is the time and place for that, not a match.
Very true. I mean, regardless of what the meta is, we always have that one trick Torbjorn in your match anyway,
Absolutely.
right? So
Jub having some fun with his teammates there, walling them off as they're trying to get to point.
I mean, everybody got set up in the meantime. They're all done giving Coach Q an aneurysm, picking off meta stuff, but
it looks like they're looking for a big wall here, and they get a wall, and I think they cut 2 off.
oh yeah, they cut a few of them off there. Looks like force them to kind of try and plow through, but they are going to save all their teammates, at least this time.
Yeah. They might not have got a lot of picks, but they force a lot of cooldowns out of the enemy
There's
team.
a lot of damage being done right here. Oh no.
It's all right. Walla goes down, but it's just going to be cleanup for Saints here.
Now it takes absolutely forever to walk to this point, though, if you get taken out.
Yeah, but that's what Lucio is actually good for. If you look at Kingdom Heart, he should be running back to pick up the Reaper.
Yeah, there he is. Just as you say it.
Yeah. Any good Lucio player, but I mean, then he just runs away from him and just lets him walk back nice and slow.
I'll take you halfway and then make you walk the rest.
It's like, hey, can I get an Uber, please? Drops you off halfway to the destination.
Okay, they do
a
manage
big
to get
freeze
onto
coming out of the
point,
Sigma with a wall to cut him off from his team, and that's a pick for Saints Gaming.
Very nice. Nowhere to go there. And then essentially anybody who gets close to this capture point, Jub's just freezing down, and the rest of the squad just plowing damage into him. This Orisa has no chance, and that's going to be another solid wipe here for St. Clair.
That May pick on maps like Kings Row, Hanamura, things with single choke points where the teams just kind of are forced to walk through them, it's just so strong. If you cut off their tanks and you can get past their shield and freeze them, and you can just get a free pick off of it. So here's that Pharah thing. So what needs to happen here from Saints is that they need to block off that Pharah damage using Sigma shield, since it's like movable so much of the time.
Right. Yeah, we're trading coalescences. We got the bongo, and Walla's finding the pick. So it's looking so far so good for St. Clair to start things off. Death Blossom also is getting used to try and just stop this fight in its tracks. And it's looking like all St. Clair right now as they send them back to their spawn.
Yeah. So the nice thing about that Saints did there, actually, and it's a big reason why they actually won that fight. So you notice the dueling coalescences, right? They both use coalescence. That bongo on the coalescence is huge. It does a lot of extra damage, and it actually nullifies the healing from their Moira. So any healing, like it does damage on top of the Moira's healing. So it basically, if you bongo and coalescence at the same time, you're basically nullifying her coalescence.
God, in the meantime, apparently Jub and Walla just went on a side mission to pop the blizzard and just take everybody down before they even made it to the choke point.
I spent a little too much time explaining that, but I honestly wasn't expecting a commitment at that point.
It's like, oh, they're still at their spawn. Everything's okay. We have time, right?
Yeah.
I guess not. Oh, Kingdom Heart almost getting popped, but running for the hills.
Oh, took a May of their own to try and get around, but
I don't think it's as effective offensively, though. You'd think.
I mean, it's still her fight presence, her mid fight presence is really good, just because of that freeze, right? You get one freeze, it's basically a free pick.
Right. And that's a blizzard coming out, and that
huge
Pharah just got popped instantly. Although Crypt is going to go down because of the blizzard, but Jub in prime position to just get everybody who's on the attack right now for University of Pittsburgh. Doesn't matter if they have the bongo or not. It's just a lone mercy.
And walling off that retreat to just really beat it into them.
Freeze them and give them a little 1-2 in the face. Ow.
Yeah. I mean, from Jub there, he should have killed her a little bit later, forcing that late respawn. But
yeah, you want the stagger, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now we have a blizzard of our own.
We have 5 ults. 5 ults online here.
Yeah, the blizzard coming out right away.
There's not much University of Pittsburgh can do, although that's an early pick for them.
The ult got eaten too from Jub, so it does go down. That's a nice flux though.
Huge
on top of the bongo. Big damage.
Big ults coming up from the tanks there. Really clean. Nice gameplay together.
And then Jussie finishes off harsh, and that's going to be a full hold for St. Clair. Nicely done.
That right there is what you want to see when you're on defense on Kings Row. That is a nice hold.
What did I say earlier in the cast? That it's either you're going all the way to the final point or you're getting a full hold?
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. And we had an example of both of those today.
It's one of those days, apparently.
Yeah. The Saints here are looking a lot more comfortable on King's Row the second time around.
I don't know if it's just because they're warmed up or what, but yeah, this entire match for the most part, other than part 2 of the first game, they've seemed to be on a roll now. For the most part. Now, what on earth is happening here?
the pocket comp might they were showing signs of the pocket comp.
Yeah.
They almost brought it out in a situation where they didn't need to.
I was gonna say you went kind of silent there, but like I was wondering what you were kind of if you're worried about what they were picking.
So basically, it's a comp that I kind of theorized, and I find it to be pretty good in like a close quarters environment.
Okay, and what was it? I saw a Widow and a Hanzo.
That's not what it is. So
No.
you got a Rein Zarya.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a brawly comp, right? You want to be in their face.
Okay.
So in order to do that, you have a nice Mei Reaper. You know, they're really good close range. Lots of damage from that Reaper, lots of CC from the Mei. And then you actually play Lucio Brig.
Oh.
With Brig's new changes, she actually does a lot of healing if she can get in there, into the team fight.
Right.
Especially with that 3 armor packs, as well as the increased healing from her aura. Even though it doesn't heal her as much, it does a lot. So basically, your goal in that comp is get in the enemy team's face and kill them.
Okay. Now, I guess it could be good on this map, considering the buildings kind of force you to be relatively short-ranged.
This is an interesting pathing coming out from the Saints here.
Yeah, they seem to not be on the same page for the most part. That being said,
nice
Jesse,
pick onto the pharmacy.
Yeah, it gets the first kill, and it's going to let St. Clair get onto the point. And the fact that they only have to get 1 tick on this map is making this look extremely positive, as Walla is just giving them a whooping here in the corner. Just 1 more down. This is going to be a quick match here. The 2-0 for St. Clair over the University of Pittsburgh.
And we got to watch a little bit of that tracking I was talking about earlier from Walla. He's just one heck of a player.
And play of the game going over to Walla. Is this just at the end here, maybe?
Probably. You get to look a little bit of a closer look at that tracking.
And we're denied.
and Vintage, the lovely Overwatch coach, pulls us out before we can watch play of the game.
Sometime.